What's up everybody? Welcome back to Amusement Media. As you saw by the title, we're checking out Coaster Studios' documentary on Rocky Mountain construction today. Now they've been working on this doc for like over a year. I'm super hyped about it. Can't wait to see all these stories about RMC. I mean, they built some of the best coasters out there, and I'm sure they've got a rich history because they are fairly new and just rose to fame so quickly. Unfortunately, my enthusiast friends couldn't make it tonight, so it's just going to be me, but it's going to be a ton of fun. I can't wait to check it out, meet Taylor again. And the documentary comes out October 8th, which is just about like a week away, and you can buy it on Vimeo. So I'll put the link in the description. Make sure you guys go do that. And obviously, we do get to see it early, so I won't spoil it, but I'll give some general opinions at the end. And so yeah, let's head to the theater. Alright, we're in the theater. There they are up there. Super excited for this to start.
And like, I swear, probably the next day after I did those interviews, everything is completely shut down for COVID, which ruined our big Idaho shoot. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
We were gonna do it.
Got slightly delayed.
It was like slightly. It was like
4 months.
I got to go.
Exactly. No, it did. It actually did work out a lot better in our favor because when you start making a documentary, you don't really like. You have an idea of where you want it to go, but you don't know 100%. Because at the end of the day, we wanted to make it interview driven, not narration driven. And so you're relying on those people that you talk to tell the story. And when you haven't talked to them yet, you don't know where it's going to go. So we're asking guiding questions that we think we want it to go this way. And so we're kind of helping lead it. But anyway, so we had this big shoot lined up in Idaho for April 2020. That didn't happen. So we postponed it to, it was like end of August, I think. And so just in the meantime, over the summer, we started gathering some footage. That's when we did like a big Dollywood shoot, Silverado City, met with like Ann and Brian, Marcus LaShawn. So that kind of helped because then we had a few points that, you know, we'd sit down with Fred or Lynn or Jake, whatever, and we'd be like, you know, this person that we talked to earlier this summer said this line.
And I think one thing that kind of got left out that we all said that we wish could have had a bigger role was Twisted Colossus, because I don't know if you've noticed, but in the beginning, Fred said that his first ever roller coaster ride was the old one, which is pretty freaking cool that he got to redo it for himself later in life.
Full circle.
Like who would never predict something like that? But since California was on the stricter side and the parks really opened before we got into post-production, really, we couldn't really include that. So that's one thing that we.
Yeah, and that was just completely out of our hands. Because in a world where COVID wasn't there, we probably would have done a Twisted Colossus section, but it's just too late.
And maybe Medusa.
But we're up there on stage with Fred, and out of nowhere, Fred announces his retirement. He says,
"Yeah, we did not know that."
He says, "I'm about done building roller coasters here." He says he's going to stay on as a consultant to just help with the transition. A little part of me was like, "Fred, could you have not announced this before so we could work it into the documentary?" Actually, the new guy taking over RMC, his name is Darren. We've all met him. He's honestly fantastic. I don't think any of us are worried about RMC's future.
No, not at all. And I think, honestly, that was a pretty poetic end to his full-time career as owner of RMC, building a ride at the park he not only started in, but it's 20 minutes away from where he lives, and I don't know, that whole sequence with his grandkids and his daughter all riding makes me cry. It's what a better is there a better way to really sign off on this amazing thing you created?
No, Stunt Pilot is not the biggest, the tallest, and the fastest, but it's the most emotionally satisfying for their story and everything. So.
And the best part is we had no idea, and I don't even think they knew that it was going to be a thing when we started filming this. And it became the centerpiece of the documentary. And it was totally.
That's when we had to kind of take a 180 look. We're like, okay, we had this idea about what we're going to do, but now we're going to backtrack here. We're going to now get all this stuff for Stunt Pilot because this is the most perfect thing that could have ever happened.
Yeah. So obviously it's sad that he's not going to be a full-time guy anymore, but
Well, and Alan is also.
Yeah, Alan's also.
So Alan's guy that he's been helping mentor and bring into this. His name is Joe Draves. He also helps out with a lot of like S&S attractions, and he's a brilliant designer. He's a nerd like everyone here, and so he just wants to make great roller coasters. And so he's kind of stepping into the position that Alan was at, and he was already helping out with rides. Like he did, he's responsible for the barrel roll drop on Storm Chaser, and that was his idea. And I believe he did most of Zadra. He's doing the new Fun Spot Atlanta roller coaster. That's his.
Yeah.
So again, great guy. We're not worried about
Yeah, but it is sad, but yeah.
Yeah. So will there
Probably
ever be a
no
part
part
two? I don't know. 10 years or 20 years of continuing it, I guess.
Your parody! Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. I needed a senior capstone for my university. I was graduating with a digital cinema degree. And so I was thinking about what would be a fun project because I like making documentaries. And so I had met some of the people from RMC through places like IAPA. I'd actually been to their facility like a couple of years ago. And so I just sent Amy an email and I was like, here's my idea. Like, let me know what you think. And the email I got back was like the biggest like ego boost I could have gotten, which was like, we think you'd be great to tell this story. Like we've been wanting someone to make a documentary, and I was like, so then, in the words of Alan from here, that's when it was like, oh, what am I gonna do? How am I gonna make this happen? So
you
that's
actually figured this out now.
I know. So that's when I was like, Scott, I was like, I've got you. Yeah. So no, it was very cool. It was like a couple days before we had the premiere in Idaho, and I still hadn't received the full final version yet. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, you exported it the night before Idaho.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. We were like premiering the documentary the next day in Idaho, and I'm like sitting there like making the final. In the filmmaking world, the movie's never really done. You just have to finally like send it off, and
Like I'm sure we'll make little tweaks after this. So.
yeah. If you look at RMC's like kind of insignia, it's like a circle. It says RMC, and then on the bottom, this is how we roll. And so I was like, oh yeah, that's kind of like a fun name. It's like, play on like, roll or coaster. But I think the big reason why I decided that would be like the best name for it is after hearing all of their stories about the way that they do things out there, because it is very unconventional and very different, and that's how they roll. And so it's like, yeah, that works. That works. So thank you guys so much for
Yes,
coming.
yes, thank you.
We really.
Alright, I'm here with Taylor and Sarah. We just watched the documentary. I'm so proud of you guys. I was so hyped up for it. I was so excited and that was amazing. I'm so nervous right now.
Oh my God, don't be.
No, I'm an aspiring content creator. I started during quarantine. I have about 500 subs now. And you're the main reason I'm an enthusiast, so I just want to thank you for that.
Thank you so
and,
much.
Yeah, if you have to describe the documentary in one word to everyone, what would you say?
Oh man.
Uplifting.
I agree.
That's a good
that was
one.
a good one.
Very
Yeah.
uplifting.
I would also throw in family.
True. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. Thank you.
Of course.
All right. Make sure you sub to them, guys. That was like my most embarrassing and cool clip at the same time, guys. All right, let's get to the review. Hey, everybody. So we're back at home now. I just realized I didn't do an outro while I was there. I was just kind of shocked by meeting them, as you saw in that last clip. It seriously was an amazing experience. I'm so glad to have been given that opportunity. I mean, it's awesome. I'm so proud of them. And as you can clearly tell, the documentary was amazing. Yeah, it was super good. It was so good. I can't even pretend not to like it. It was so cool. The production level, all of it. Like, there was great music. There was like Fred Grubb had his own theme. The rides had their own theme. I don't want to spoil too much, but there were so many funny moments, and it was just so real. It didn't feel like acting. It felt so real. And Taylor also said that it originally started as a school project for end of the year project at film school, and he ended up winning best film at college, so that was pretty sick. Also, I didn't mention, but I watched it with my dad, who's not a coaster enthusiast, but despite that, he actually really enjoyed the documentary. So you don't need to be an enthusiast to enjoy it. Like, it is awesome as an enthusiast, but it is funny and engaging enough. It is really actually very good. So yeah, anyone can enjoy this. I'm still at a loss for words, and it's been a while, but yeah, it's been a little bit since we saw the documentary, and I'm still stumbling over everything. Man, that was awesome. I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you haven't already pre-ordered it or haven't ordered it if it's already out, I would highly recommend doing it if you haven't seen it. Like, it's really good, guys. It's really good. All right, make sure you leave a like. Make sure you subscribe if you enjoyed it. Go check out Coaster Studios if you haven't already. And as always, keep riding coasters, stay safe, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace!